Good evening. My name is Tammy. I'm the president of Fun and Adventure at Singles Travel International, and I could not be more excited than to announce tonight's presentation, our travel preview. The next trip that we have coming up is called Asian Temples, Pagodas and Palaces, and it is the most exciting itinerary that I think we have for a very long time. I have been to 65 countries, and going to Thailand and going to Hong Kong and Singapore and Vietnam are at the top of my list. So I'm super excited because those destinations are amazing. But we just created a new partnership with Oceania Cruises. And tonight we have Maggie dela Cruz, who's our relationship manager there. She's going to tell you all about that experience. And there's two things that I love about Oceania. They have the finest cuisine at sea and more in-depth visits than any other cruise line with overnight stays. One of the things I hear a lot is, oh, I don't really like a cruise because I have to leave at the end of the day. We have 4 overnight stays on this cruise in Bangkok, in Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City, in Ha Long Bay, which is North Vietnam, and then at the end in Hong Kong. So it's going to be an amazing cruise. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Maggie dela Cruz. Maggie, hello and welcome.
Hi, thank you, Tammy, and thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm so excited to be here. I'm very excited about this group in particularly. And that's probably because personally, I became a solo traveler recently. So when Tammy approached me with the idea, I just took it and ran with it straight into my executive's team's office and said, I need your guys' support. I want to do this group with Tammy. I mean, it sounds just like so much fun. It's phenomenal. I mean, we've had more solo traveler inquiries recently, and it's part of our, evolution campaign, if you will. So, we're always trying to evolve, change with the times, expand, our services, our meals, all of it. And so this just fit right in beautifully. So I'm very excited about it. And I do have to say, you have quite a representative with Tammy. I mean, she was relentless, and she has figured out every single detail for you all to be able to have the absolute best value for your vacation experience. So kudos to you all for having Tammy on your side. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. My computer just decided to lock me out, of course. And so here we go. Sorry about that. So your world, your way. If you've sailed with us, you're very familiar with our tagline. And so what does that mean? So with Oceania Cruises, you're going to explore the globe in comfort and style. And it's basically that, your world, your way. You can dine with who you want, when you want, and where you want. You can explore with other guests, you can explore with friends, or you can explore on your own, because the choice is simply all yours. So we're an upscale cruise experience at an incomparable value that you just simply are not going to be able to find with another premium cruise line. That's my 30-second elevator pitch, by the way, just to kind of summarize it all. So exploring without the crowds, and I have to say this is definitely a fan favorite by far. And so the convenience of embarking and disembarking in just a couple of minutes means you're not going to waste valuable vacation time stuck in lines, right? Nobody wants to stand in the heat, waiting to get back on the ship. And I say this from experience because last year I had the privilege of sailing on the Riviera, which incidentally is the ship you all will be sailing on. And I was able to go visit my dream destination, which was Santorini. So since I can remember, I always wanted to go to Santorini. So of course, as soon as we got there, I jumped off the ship. I did everything I could. I did the wine tasting, I did the food, I did the shopping, the walking. Of course, it was in the summer, so it was also very hot. For those of you that haven't been to Santorini, at the end, to get back to the ships, you have to get off on a cable cart. And so as soon as we got off the cable cart, there was like just hundreds of people in front of me. And I thought, oh my gosh, I mean, all I wanted to do is get back to the ship, shower, take a nap in my tranquility mattress and get ready for dinner, right? So all of a sudden, when I saw hundreds of people, I thought, okay, that's not going to happen. But then I saw someone waving a flag and it said Oceania Cruises. And I looked at the gentleman and he was waving us in because I was with a group. I was so happy to see that we just had to walk around because those hundreds of people weren't for my ship. It was for a larger ship. So we were able to, skirt around them and get to the Oceania Cruises welcome carpet where they had like iced towels, freshly squeezed lemonade. And of course, we just walked right on in. And I was like, that was my aha moment. I was like, of course, this is what Oceania Cruises is all about. And that's what exploring without the crowds means, and a bit of the small ship luxury feel that I want you guys to experience. So that's just a little story on my end. This one is the itinerary that Tammy carefully selected for you all, and it's Bangkok to Hong Kong, and it's 14 days on the Riviera. So you will start off in Bangkok, then Koh Samui, Singapore, Saigon, Nha Hui, Hanoi, and Hong Kong. So I may have mispronounced a couple of them. Honestly, I am not a world traveler. I wish I was. I'm working on that. I'm trying to visit more countries. And so I say this because on that vacation that I mentioned to you about last year, there was 2 ports of call that I wasn't familiar with. I didn't even know they existed, basically, embarrassingly enough. And one of them was Bodrum. So although as far as I can remember, Santorini was always my destination, dream destination place. Bodrum stole my heart. And then followed by Kusadasi, which were the 2 places that I didn't know I needed or wanted. So I want to invite you to receive this experience with an open heart, a positive and attitude, and just ready for adventure. Because like I said, Tammy has really looked through everything thoroughly to make sure that you have an incredible experience.
And Maggie, I'm going to interject for a second here to say that I have been to all these places.
Oh, there you go.
That's what happens. I'm much older than you, Mag. So I've been to all these places. And I know that the first time that I went to Vietnam, I was just amazed, of course, at the friendliness of the people, the exotic destinations, the food, and just, of course, our own history in relationship to Vietnam. But the people, because they were colonized by the French for a long time, many of them speak French. For those of you who speak French, you'll be able to communicate with them in that way. And the younger people, they really loved that I was from the USA. So sometimes there's a hesitancy, like maybe we wouldn't fit in there, or there would be some kind of judgment towards us. But they were very, very happy to meet people from the USA. And there's some amazing, so you're going to have some kind of throwback by going to Vietnam. Like Brad said earlier, he had been there. And so for those of us who had been there and served, and thank you guys so much, and ladies and gentlemen for having done that, for those of us who were around in those turbulent times, you're going to have some memories, and there'll be some moving moments, and there'll be some new moments like you had in Turkey, where you found something that you absolutely never dreamed of experiencing. So yeah. I know that that's when I said in the beginning, this is an amazing itinerary. I meant that in every way.
Absolutely. And it's incredible to be able to have that experience and go with someone that knows, right? Because you don't know what you don't know. But when you have someone like yourself, or even Brad there, to help guide you through it, it makes it all that much better. So incredible. Yes, that is amazing. So we're going to move on to our pillars of distinction. And so 20 years ago, when Oceania Cruises was founded upon, it was these 3 pillars, and that's the small ship luxury, our exquisitely crafted cuisine, and our curated travel experiences. So those are the core pillars that we will always continue to grow from. And that's because we know, we figured this out early on, right? We've been around for 20 years, actually, it's our anniversary. And we realized that those are the 3 pillars that are going to elevate your vacation experience from a great vacation to an unforgettable vacation, one that you're going to continuously talk to about, to your friends and family, because that's what we strive to do, elevate your vacation experience. And so one of my favorite features is the small ship luxury. And that's like no secret to anyone. I have this aversion to like sailing with 5,000, 7,000, other friends. I guess it's because of what we're coming off of. I'm still not quite ready to be with thousands of people. So the small ship luxury experience just resonates with me. But honestly, it's not just me, right? So 65% of our guests return And when we go through the guest surveys, most of them, put on there that their reason for returning was the love of the small ship feel. So they like the attention to detail, the staff members being able to attend to them by their names, and these are just things that it's pretty much impossible for like these larger ships to be able to do that, like the personalized attention. And so that's what I love about the small ship luxury. And so we're going to meet some of our fleet, and that's we have 3 classes of ships. We have the Regatta class, which are the smaller ships. They carry 656 guests, and that's Regatta, Nautica, Insignia, and Sirena. Insignia, incidentally, is probably one of the ones that has the most loyal following, and that's because she's the one that does the around the world. Our past guests love the smaller ships. It's also because they can get into a lot of those ports that some of the larger vessels can't get into. So they love that. And then we have our Oceania class, which has the Marina and the Riviera, and they only carry 1,250 guests. So we're still on the smaller side of things as you compare to other cruise lines. And then we have the Allure class, which we are so excited about. It's our brand new class of ship. They only carry 1,200 guests. And so the first ship in the Allure class is Vista, and she just launched in May. So we're very excited about our shiny new toy. And I'm going to share a couple of clips and a little bit more information on the Vista, just so that you also know what's more to come at Oceania Cruises. But so it's not just the size of our vessels that makes them so welcoming. It's also the design philosophy, because when you step on board one of our ships, we want you to feel like you've stepped into our home, right? We've done everything we possibly can to avoid that cookie cutter hotel chain-like furnishings that you see at a lot of the hotels or the larger ships. We want it to be warm and inviting. We want you to be able to snuggle up with your book in the library, that book that you've been carrying around that you keep saying you want to read or you want to finish. Well, here's the time. You can, the coziness was just tempting to get you to sit down and just relax for a moment. And sometimes we need that invitation to be able to just stop for a moment and enjoy. And so here we can take a look at our standard veranda stateroom. As you can see, it has the veranda there, and it has a separate seating area. It's very spacious. All of our shower heads have that rain shower with a glass enclosure, so no sticky, curtains to fiddle with. Also, you can see here our ocean view stateroom, which this one does not have a veranda, but it has a picture window, so it'll still allow some light in. And at the bottom here, you can see our Bulgari toiletries. And I wanted to showcase that because I absolutely love the scent of Bulgari. And of course, it's very high end. So regardless of the category that you are in, everyone is going to be pampered. Everyone is going to be treated to the Bulgari toiletries, the Tranquility mattress, like I mentioned before. Actually, some guests want to even purchase the mattress and bring some of that luxury home. So if you find yourself wanting to do that, it's a thing. It actually happens. So you can reach out to Tammy or whatever, and we'll try to figure out how to get you a mattress.
Well, Maggie, I'm going to tell everybody here that I don't know if I'm in the mattress business yet, but all of our cabins for this cruise are balconies. So all of them have verandas. So they can rest assured that they're going to have that extra.
Amazing. Perfect. Perfect. And so you'll all get the plush robes and slippers, and it's the royal treatment. Absolutely. So this is what I believe you're looking at more, which is the concierge verandas or the standard verandas. And the only difference here is the concierge verandas have some additional amenities. Additional amenities meaning you'll be able to have priority time for dining reservations. You'll get a welcome bottle of champagne. You'll have access to the Aquamar private spa in the terrace. And so that's a key card only entrance, and there is a fee for that. But if you're in a concierge category or above, you'll be able to take full advantage of that. You'll also have access to the concierge lounge, which is also key card only entrance. So there's a lot of additional little fun perks that you'll be able to have that are in addition to our already included amenities. And so because you're on a smaller ship, it does not mean by any means that you're going to miss out on the larger ship feels. So you're still going to have your Broadway-like shows, There's still the casino. There's still the Martinis bar, Horizons Lounge. We have high tea at 4 p.m. daily. I didn't even know how much I enjoyed having tea until I tried it in Horizons Lounge. So you'll be able to still take advantage of a lot of the amenities that you find on the larger ships. We have the spa with incredible treatments, you know, therapeutical treatments. We even have some fitness classes that are also included. So definitely take a look for that. And this is the Vista, which we are so excited about. Like I said before, she's the first of the Allura class ship, and she's currently in her maiden season. So I'm going to share a little bit of a video just so that you can have an idea on what's to come, what's coming for Oceania Cruises, because we will be having more ships coming along. And you're going to appreciate the fact that she's stuck to our, like I said, our core pillars. It's always country club casual. So as luxurious as all of our ships are, it's never that stuffy feeling. It's very relaxed atmosphere. And I'm gonna go ahead and play the video so that way you can. Amazing, right? So sign me up. So like I
wanted to say also that Brad is one of the dancers, ladies, so we do have dancers.
And we do have other solo travelers on board. And actually on one of the nights we have like a meet and greet so everyone can kind of introduce each other. So for those that are traveling solo, you'll all be able to meet anyone else that's, you know, not a part of your group, but also traveling solo. So that's kind of fun too. Now, like I said, so Vista, brand new, but still with the same, you know, Oceania family feeling. Only 1,200 guests, 800 team members catering to you any time at any moment. So that's definitely an experience that we all want to share. And solo stateroom. So how are we doing it better? Because I keep saying, you know, we want to evolve. We want to continue to make things better. But for those that thought, how could you possibly make it better? Well, we did. And we did because, like I said before, we're trying to learn with the times and take feedback from our guests. And so with that, we've added new solo staterooms to our fleet. So on our class ships, which are the smaller ships, we have 14 solo staterooms. And on the Vista, it's a brand new category, and it's called the concierge solo stateroom. So as you can see, it's for the solo traveler. It still has its own, you know, private little seating area with a veranda, because also new is the fact that Vista is an all veranda ship. So there are no inside staterooms. So these are definitely things that you may want to consider. 2025 is just around the corner. And we could maybe revisit that later on. I just wanted to tease you all with a little bit of Vista, because how can I not? We're all bragging about our new baby. So our second pillar.
Meg, I'm just going to interject right here. Those are in the future, right? But now what we've been able to do with the help of Maggie is to give our members a discount on the regular veranda and the regular concierge class cabins, because we always need more than 14. We keep pecking away and we love the advancements. And I have played ping pong with the CEO of Royal Caribbean. I had lunch with the CEO at Celebrity, and I had them tell me many, many times, no, it's never going to happen. So we're delighted to see the changes. And we really appreciate the partnership that we've created with you guys, because on this particular ship that we're going on in February, they don't have solo cabins. So you guys totally accommodated us so that our members would be able to get that better price and not have to wait until the Mystic Class comes out.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all of your staterooms basically per se will be considered a solo stateroom because they are priced out for the solo traveler. So independently onto whatever category you book into it, the price has already been accommodated for the solo traveler, which I think is phenomenal. Like I said, Tammy presented it. I loved it. You know, I went into the executive team and, you know, we just went at it back and forth. How about this? How about that? And, you know, it worked out great. So
Thank
like
you.
I mentioned, you know, being a new solo traveler myself, I love it. I'm all about it and I'm here for it. So next group 2025, let's do it. We'll just continue to improve on it. And so talking about improvements, we've also enhanced our menus. Because, you know, it's not just, you know, what the eye can see, right? Just like the little princess, you know, what's essential is invisible to the eye. So we've gone beyond the hardware on all of our enhancements. We're not just trying to show off so you can see a pretty ship. You know, our top goal is continue to evolve and elevate your experience on board. So we have new menus. We have new wine tasting programs. We've expanded our in-room dining selections. So it's not just like a cold breakfast or anything, which incidentally, you know, room service is 24/7 at no additional charge. And there is no surprise surcharge fee. If you want to have milk and cookies every night, have at it. There is no additional charge for that. If you want to have, you know, duck l'orange from the grand dining room with wine, have at it as well in the comfort of your suite, in your nice bathrobe and plushy slippers. So we're going to also have new dining experience in the Terrace Cafe and Waves Grill. We have a new ice cream, which is called Humphrey Slocombe. Oh my gosh, it's divine. It's from the West Coast, so a lot of people aren't familiar with it. But if when you're on board, I want to ask you to ask for the secret breakfast. That's my favorite. And so it's like a Tahitian vanilla with some frosted flakes and a splash of bourbon. Oh, yum. Yes. And so we also have new mixology cocktail offerings and some mocktails as well. So we have non-alcoholic cocktails as well on board. So a lot of fun and new and exciting things on all of our ships. And so 25% of our staff on board is dedicated to the culinary experience. So we rival Michelin star restaurants ashore, and that's due in part to, again, my computer, if I stays idle, it locks me out, sorry. Due in part to our leadership of Master Chef Jacques Pepin. So he has taught us that, you know, a lousy tomato is a lousy tomato, no matter how wonderful a chef is. If the ingredients are subpar, you're going to get a subpar plate, right? So we source only the freshest ingredients. Our galleys are equipped like a Michelin star kitchen because that's the only way you can prepare these type of meals. And then, of course, our staff professionally trained. So like I said, a lousy tomato is a lousy tomato. You have to invest in not just what you could see, but also what's behind the scenes. And that's going to make your experience so much better. And I wanted to show you this picture. If you're wondering who these two handsome people are, it's because that's Giada De Laurentiis, and she's the godmother for Vista. And this is Frank Del Rio, the president of Oceania Cruises. So I wanted for you to have an idea of who's behind all of this. So Giada is very sophisticated, but also casual. And she has that deep love of quality cuisine. So we felt like she was the perfect match to be the godmother for Vista. And so you'll be able to enjoy some of her inspired new creations in Toscana, which is our Italian authentic restaurant. And then there's also some of her dishes in the grand dining room, which personally, I love the grand dining room. And so we have multiple open seating and complimentary dining venues. Like I said before, you dine with whom you want and when you want. The only thing I recommend and you should do is make your dining reservations prior to sailing. So,
And just to interject for our folks here, they know
yes.
that at Singles Travel International, we will take care of all of those pre-dining reservations. Of course, once they get on, this is a 2-week cruise, my gosh, so you can get out and explore. But we will be doing some pre-reservations, and as well, our concierge, Vicky, will be on board to help with all of that once they get on board. But we'll definitely be doing reservations because as singles, we come on, many of our members are by themselves. They don't know anyone else. So we're not really in an advantageous position to book in advance. So we'll kind of coordinate everything so everybody gets on board and you're dining with other singles in the group.
See, and that's exactly what I meant about she has covered every angle for you guys. I promise you that she has looked into every detail. So kudos to you, Tammy, I'm sorry. And so here is the Culinary Center, because way back when we first started, we wanted to share our passion for cuisine with our guests on board. And so we pioneered the very first cooking class at sea. Now, it's been such a great success that, of course, other cruise lines have followed, but everyone loves doing something at the Culinary Center with our chefs. And on board our new ship Vista, there's actually a dining venue adjacent to the Culinary Center where you'll be able to enjoy the creations that you've made, in a nice sit down dinner with the rest of the class, and probably a wine pairing. If I'm pretty sure there'll be wine involved. There's always wine involved with dinner. So that's the Culinary Center. And then here we have Privé. This is a private dining venue. This is only for a small intimate group of about maximum 10 guests. There is an additional fee for that. But if you have, if you're sailing with some close friends and you all 10 want to get together and just dine there, you'll be able to select from 2 separate menus. I believe it's Toscana and Polo Grill, which is the steakhouse, because that's exactly where Privé is. It's tucked in between the two. Or you can have dinner from Toscana and dessert from Polo Grill. So that's also fun. And then of course that floor to ceiling window back there, just amazing as a backdrop to see. For me, it was pulling away from Santorini. It was a dream. It was a dream. It was like a teary-eyed moment when I still remember it. So of course we still have some of our hallmark staples, like I mentioned, the Polo Grill, Toscana, Red Ginger, which is our Asian fusion. We have the Waves Grill, which is by the poolside, so it's our more informal dining. But you can have lobster at any one of these venues, even at the poolside. You can have the surf and turf hamburger, amazing. And then you go get the ice cream. And this is the grand dining room on board Vista, and I just think it's phenomenal. It's so elegant, so classy.
Gorgeous. We can get lobster anywhere. Is that what I heard?
At any of the venues. And like I said, there's no additional charge for that. So
Wow.
I challenge you to have as much lobster as you can. And so being the destination specialist means that we spend a great amount of time carefully designing each itinerary to give you that perfect immersive experience. So we sail to over 450 ports around the globe. So no matter where your passion leads you, you will find the voyage that's perfect just for you. Our cruises range anywhere from 7 days to 180 days. Some guests even add additional segments to it and have had 200 plus days. So if you have the time, why not, right? So, but we also have over 8,000 shore excursions to choose from. And so I'm going to get into the shore excursions, but first I wanted to share this other video, which is called Travelers at Heart. And I love this video. I mean, I've seen it a million times and I still get the warm and fuzzies every time I see it. So
to me, travel helps me define a sense of time and place. A new place, hits you all 5 senses. So it's a wonderful experience.
And I think everyone that's on board is looking for the same thing.
On Oceania, we have so many guests that are so well traveled. They've been there, done that. Now they're looking for that really unique thing to see and do. I think going on a cruise is one of the best ways to see the world.
The passengers that you travel with on Oceania are curious travelers. I think that makes the experience more exciting.
Cruising takes the drudgery out of travel. It offers a smorgasbord, kind of a buffet of interesting places to go to.
There's something about connecting with different people from different cultures that reminds us of our sameness.
Especially in the modern world where everything has to go very fast. And I think when you travel, you find another way to connect with others, yourself, and the world. I get to plan and organize and see my guests happy. To experience and to share this experience with them, I think it's something that is priceless.
We have several tours around the world where guests actually get to go into people's homes. And those tours sell out. When you get invited into somebody's home to see how they live and to just talk to them about everyday life, it's really eye-opening. You think about how many people's lives you affect just by stepping off the ship and going on a tour or going into town on your own. We rely on each other.
Well, for me, it's a sense of adventure. On my first Oceania cruise, I sailed out of Venice, and it was tea time. They were playing Vivaldi, and there the ship is sailing out of Venice. To this very day, I remember that so clearly. You know, I have those images come to mind.
A brand new experience every day. It doesn't get boring, period.
We took a cruise to the polar ice cap, and of course, we're surrounded by these gigantic ice sculptures in the water. And the next thing we know, the general manager is on board the tender, and they cast out this net, and they bring on board this huge piece of ice. Well, that evening, they had that iceberg on the pool deck. So we're having cocktails served over glacial ice, which was incredible. When an Oceania ship pulls into a port, you are free to join one of their tours. You are free to explore on your own. When you come back on the ship, you are free to have dinner at any time you choose, or with whomever you choose.
We seem to be traveling with people who want to travel and want to explore. And we don't see that on other cruise lines.
They know me. So every time I go on a cruise, it's like you're visiting your family members.
Your family member. It's perfectly made for exactly what you choose and what you expect.
And it's your world, your way. Such a pleasant way to cruise.
That makes me want to just go jump on a ship tomorrow.
It's beautiful.
And so, okay, so I'm a very visual person, so I love this slide because it shows you where you can find any one of our ships at any point in time. So we follow the seasons. Anything in the gold color, that's where you will find one of our ships. And I just wanted to put it out there so that you can see. I'm not going to get into each one of the regions, but that gives you a pretty good idea of how global we are. Like I said, we have over 8,000 shore excursions and tours for you to choose from. Don't get overwhelmed with the number. It only means we have a large selection for you to pick from. So that way you could find what piques your interest. So we have a Go Local tour, which is like the one that you saw in the video where the family's having dinner with the local. We have Go Green tours, which, you know, you can go into a specific town and or port and see what they're doing about sustainability. You know, culinary discovery tours with the chef. You'll go on land, purchase the ingredients, come back, cook it together, or maybe have dinner with the chef at a farmhouse, at a local farmhouse. So there's a whole lot. The Beyond the Blueprints, that's new, and I love that because it kind of takes you back to maybe some of these iconic places that you visited before, but now you're going to get a behind the scenes on how they came to be. So the architectural aspect of it. So there's just a lot of things. And if you want to just do a private car and driver, that's fine too. Again, your world, your way, you customize your vacation as you choose. And so we also offer, as if that wasn't enough, immersive pre, post, and mid cruise land programs. So it could be anywhere from 1 to 3 nights, and they will include the transfers, the hotel, some meals, and of course an English speaking guide. And so that's something that you can also add on, you know, whether it's at the beginning, if you want to get a head start. Some offer the midland. So for example, if you're, I believe, in Peru and you wanted to go to Machu Picchu, that's a midland. In Bora Bora, because, you know, if we're in Papeete in that region, everyone wants to spend the night in an overwater bungalow in Bora Bora, right? So you're able to do that as an overland package, spend the night out, and then join us back on the ship the next day and continue. So there's a lot of opportunities. Like I said, we're very flexible for you to do it your way. And again, it's the English speaking tour guides that's always that's very helpful as well. And they're all professionals. You can find like retired archaeologists or architects. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So when they're telling you the history behind that one structure, you know they know what they're talking about. They're not just making it up, right? You know, and most of our guests are very well traveled and very well educated as well. So they know you can't pull one on a savvy traveler, right? So they know their stuff. So it's just incredible, and you learn so much from those that you travel with as well. We also offer the air to make it seamless and easy for you to get to your destination. We actually have a new offer, which allows you to come in a day or 2 or 3 without having to do a custom air fee. That's something that you can discuss with Tammy. I'm not sure the logistics if you're all flying in together or not, but just know that that's also available for you.
Now, I'll just interject, Mag, if you don't mind. Yes, we would be able to do custom air for our members. Right now, the way the program is set up, their international air is included. And so are your transfers when you arrive in town. And because we have an overnight in Bangkok and an overnight in Hong Kong, we don't have any add-ons at the moment. So if anybody would like to do that, just let us know, because we have some great partners in Oceania, but also in Asia. So we're able to customize any pre and post cruise packages that you guys may want, and we can help with the air. So you can use the free air, in other words, that's going on with the Oceania. So let's work on that first, and then we can add the rest as you like.
Exactly. We can work on that on a per needs basis and figure out. Sure. And so our value without compromise is our commitment that you will not be nickeled and dime once you're on board. Like I said, everything is pretty much covered for you. All of the specialty dining experiences are covered. The grand dining room, of course, there's no charge for that. Water, whether it's still or sparkling, sodas, coffees, teas. If you go by the bakery, which you will end up by the bakery, you can go ahead and have a croissant and then go to baristas and have a cappuccino, and that's also free. There's no additional charge for that. I told you about the room service. We have the laundrette. That's also free. We have, and on a 14-day sailing, you may want to visit the laundrette.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's free. And then to most in most ports, we can take you to city center. We do have shuttles. I don't know the exact itineraries on which ones, but most of them do offer free shuttles if that's something you want to just go and do on your own. So we offer that as well. I don't think I'm missing out on anything except for the fact that Tammy has offered an additional $500 shipboard credit for the first, how many, Tammy?
And for the first 10 that book with us, for the first 10 that make a reservation with us, we're going to add another $500 onboard credit. So we've included, as Maggie was saying, so all your specialty dining, then you know what you think about when we go to that grand dining room, which, by the way, to me looks like a specialty dining room because I'm ordering lobster every night. But we have how many specialty? I think there are 5 specialty dinners on the Riviera. And there is I think you mentioned Privé and La Reserve have an extra charge, but the rest of those specialty dinners are included, guys. So we have Wi-Fi, drink package, airfare, the cruise, the pre-night in Bangkok because you're on board the ship. We have a post night in Hong Kong because you're on the ship. We have Wi-Fi. The only thing that's not included is gratuities. That's it. But
you have
$500 onboard credit, you're able to use that for not only for gratuities, for spa, for excursions. So we left that for you because here's the thing, as we said earlier in the presentation, Oceania is really about the destination. They want you to immerse. So there are so many choices of things to do when we get into port. So our imagination is that you'll take that credit and we'll get on the chat together and we'll give you links to all of the excursions that are available, and we'll start to talk to each other about what we're doing, where our interests lie. And that way you can connect with other singles and you're able to share those experiences with them when you're in each of those cities. So that is where we're imagining that this is a fully comprehensive program. Very little out of pocket for you at the end of the day, other than some gratuities and maybe a little bit extra for excursions, depending on what you decide to do, because it is a 14-day and it's definitely port intensive. So you're going to want to see a lot of things. So yeah, and Mag, me.
Yes,
I have 5 favorite words in the English language, and it's like, is that the best you can do? Is that the best you can do? Like, I already beat you guys up. I know you went to your revenue managers, but is there anything else that you think you could throw in for my beautiful singles? By the way, I know we saw a lot of couples here, guys. So here's the thing, when you're traveling with Singles Travel International, we create our own weather. And that's what makes it so beautiful, because there are a lot of cruises out there. And sometimes we go on board and we see all this romance and hand holding and all this stuff, right? That if you went by yourself, it might not be the right experience. But when you come with a group of people that are in your age range, that they're all looking for that same camaraderie and companionship, you don't have to worry about it, because we're creating our own party. We are the party, right? So anyway, Mag, if there's anything else you can do to make up for that for us, we would love it.
So this reminds me of when I was a little girl and I knew exactly when to ask my mom or my dad if I could spend the night at my friend's house, right? And it was right when they were in front of someone else or my friend or her parents, right? Because how could they say no at that point? So I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, and I can add an additional $100 shipboard credit to the stateroom for any new bookings that are made between now and August 15th. So that still gives us some time. And I'll also throw in a nice wine bundle. So that'll be 3 bottles, 1 red wine, 1 white wine, and 1 champagne for toasting. And I think that should pretty much complete the package.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So here's what I heard, that in addition to the 500 onboard credit that we're going to give the first 10 members who sign up for this cruise, by August 15th, you're going to give another 100 and a wine bundle, which is a white, a red, and a, what did you call it? I love a champagne. Oh my gosh, that sounds really great. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we are so excited for the new relationship. I know after 30 years of putting together vacations for singles, I've seen a shift, and we want the best, and we want our own space, and we want to be with other people that are just like us. So I'm excited to start this. So if you're watching us on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed the presentation. We're coming up on our time limit, but what we're going to do now is say goodnight and stay on, though, for our members who showed up live to do a question and answer with Maggie. So thank you for watching.